back with another video, so you know it's that time to let you know what's on my mind. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out the other videos when you got time. Real quick, I'm gonna holler at you about 3 things that you need to forgive yourself for. One of the most important things you can do to move forward in life is forgive yourself. And it's also one of the hardest things people do. You know, people blame themselves for all kind of tragedies and things that happens in their life, you know, when they necessarily may not be at fault. But even if you was at fault, you know, you gotta forgive yourself in order to move forward. So the first thing you need to forgive yourself for is the mistakes that you made based on the things you didn't know. You know, if you didn't know it at the time, you just didn't know it. And you made the mistake and it happened for it to be a lesson, because what comes from a lesson? You learn shit that you didn't know before. You made the mistake because you didn't know. The problem come in when you keep making the same mistake when your ass know better. So when you do that more times than not, your consequences become more severe each time, and you know, and it just pile up and it get harder and harder to overcome, you know. And to be real with you, that will make it hard for a lot of people to forgive themselves too, because they still dealing with the residual consequences of the things that happen, you know. So it make it hard to forgive yourself once you still dealing with the consequences of the things that you cause yourself. A lot of times, if you still dealing with the consequences, all it take for your ass to change. So go ahead, make the necessary change that you need to make. That way you won't continue to deal with the consequences. And once you start dealing with the consequences because of those changes you made, because you stop making those same mistakes over and over again, and it'll make it easier to forgive yourself. Also, this is very important too. You gotta accept that some of the consequences that came from some of the stuff you did, that they just ain't gonna go nowhere. You got that, you know, that's just the consequences of the mistakes that you made, even though you didn't know. And so you just gotta accept that some consequences can't be changed. And once you go ahead and accept it, it'll make it easier to forgive yourself. So that's number one. You know, forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made when you didn't know. And if you keep making the same mistakes even after you know, then just stop that dumb shit.
Hoping the best of my todays gonna be the worst of my future. Anybody I forgave, wonder if the feel is mutual. Learning my way through this maze without a tutor. Helping people no sooner, you give an inch, take a ruler. Searching for sight in the midst of a dark night. Embodied spirits of winners to finish in my sight.